Hello and welcome to Meet the Candidates. With COVID this year, the Meet the Candidates at the pool or at your home or the large forums are just kind of not a great idea. So when a candidate contacted me about having a Meet the Candidate in my community, I decided it would be a great idea to have a series of videos where each seat would be able to answer questions and you get to hear directly from them their answers. Nothing has been altered. I will add a caption of what the question is to their video, but otherwise it is an uncut video. And this way you can look at seat by seat how the candidates kind of measure up in your book to answering these questions. The questions came from people from all over the city of Delray Beach, and I tried to pick 6 questions that kind of had either they could come up with a lot of frequency or they had a broad appeal where a lot of people might be concerned about the answer to the questions. So stay tuned. Each video is for the question and individual seats, so there will be multiple parts, and I will be sharing them separately over time so that nobody gets overwhelmed with all of the videos. But feel free to share if you find it useful so that other people can get a chance to meet the candidates. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Hello there, Delray Beach. This is Mitch Katz, your candidate for Delray Beach City Commission Seat 3. Before I get started here, I want to thank Ingrid Lee and all the citizens that helped her collect questions for this series. I think this is really exciting, and I'm glad I'm able to share some of these answers with you. And thank you for Ingrid for putting this out and sharing this with our community. The first question is about workforce housing. Actually, it was a two-part question, or sort of two-part question. It said that a lot of developments are adding workforce housing, but what are we going to do in the future to make sure we have affordable housing? And it's very important to know that there's a difference between workforce housing and affordable housing. Affordable housing is actually controlled by Housing and Urban Development and is based on your income, while workforce housing is just more of a term used for people that work in the workforce. And usually there aren't necessarily income requirements. There can be for workforce housing job requirements. For example, workforce housing might be said must be made available to police officers, firefighters, school teachers, city employees, that type of thing. Well, affordable housing has very definite rules and requires certain income levels. Our city has done a decent job in the past of doing some projects that are workforce housing, and then including workforce housing in some projects. But more importantly is we need to do a better job is including more affordable housing. Not just rental units where somebody can rent, but actually home ownership. We have our Delray Beach Housing Authority, and we have accumulated land, especially within the CRA district, to help people. And we need to do more of that to help people own their own home, to be able to have that home ownership but be affordable so they can sustain. But there also is rental opportunities. Recently, the City Commission approved a project with a percent in an area where they actually rezoned an area that was light industrial to add apartments. My opponent said the reason why he disregarded our comprehensive plan completely by rezoning this land to apartments was because they were including affordable housing, which sounds great on the surface, right? But when you dig deep, had he done his research, found out that the developer actually doesn't really do affordable housing. They say they do. We're going to give a percentage of these units to give us the increased density and give us the zoning change. We're going to give you these affordable units. But then they charge what the county and the city says you have to based on the income for the unit. But if you want to park, they're going to add a charge. If you want to go in the pool, they're going to charge. If you want a mailbox, they're going to charge. Whatever extra amenity that normally most apartments would be included, like a parking space, they're going to charge extra for those things. So then what was supposed to be affordable becomes not affordable. So we need to do a better job as a community in vetting the developers, making sure that we're going to have true workforce housing, true affordable housing opportunities, and we need to work in partnership with the developers, with our community partners, with our citizens, in order to make sure that we are building and we are having built homes and communities and apartments and condos that people want to live in, that can live in, so they can stay here in Delray Beach, they can live in Delray Beach, and enjoy our great town and help maintain it, become the village by the sea that it's always been. And like I said, we've done a good job in the past, but we can always do better. And that's what I'm going to do. And when I'm elected in March as your city commissioner, I am going to be working with our Delray Beach Housing Authority and our community partners and our developers to have more affordable options for our residents. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Ryan Boylston, your current Vice Mayor and City Commissioner. I am asking for your vote for City Commission Seat 3 on March 9th. Workforce and affordable housing is a top concern for me, and is why I was recently appointed to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee for the Florida Housing Coalition. Let's start with where we are today, and then we can discuss where we need to go. I am very happy and proud to say that the last 3 years, while I have been in office, Delray has seen more workforce and affordable housing approved than any 3-year period in recent history. We have accomplished this by leveraging private sector funds as well as CRA funds. Economically, the private sector is often the vehicle for workforce housing, which tends to be at the top of the affordable home bracket. Some would say it is even outside of the bracket. Keep in mind, however, that it's important that we continue to take a balanced approach when adding housing to our city. We need a healthy mix of market, workforce, and affordable housing units, multifamily, single family. Although we have approved very little development during my 3 years, we have approved 2 important residential projects. Both are located on Congress Avenue, outside of the core of our downtown, and they'll add close to 200 workforce housing units. I successfully negotiated with the applicant for a project called Aurora, to ensure that their 74 workforce housing units would be evenly distributed over the 3 buckets of workforce housing. Without this adjustment, they knew that they would not have my vote. What was neat is that after the project was approved, the other project that will be built on the abandoned Office Depot headquarters land on the south side of Congress made the adjustment to their affordable housing. Consensus was then made to move forward with adding this provision to our LDRs. A big win for Delray Beach. Now let's talk about true affordable housing. This is primarily accomplished through P3s, private-public partnerships. Many times there is a CRA and/or housing not-for-profit involved. In Delray Beach, this is almost true 100% of the time. I am very proud to be part of 4 affordable home projects as a CRA board member, and very appreciative of all the hard work that was put in by the former CRA board members and staff on all of these projects. To you, I say thank you. First, we have Corey Jones Isle, a block of 10 3- to 4-bedroom homes located in our southwest neighborhood. We broke ground about a year ago, and completion is right around the corner. Then, just down the block, we have Carver Square, 19 homes that will be constructed in 2021. I strongly advocated for my board to put this development out to bid in order to leverage the mandated affordable housing units put on builders by the county. Thankfully, I received just enough support to move this forward and will be saving close to $6 million developing these homes. Island Cove Apartments, which will be built near Lowson, and will include 54 apartments ranging from $800 to $1,300 per month. We, the CRA, provided a $1 million grant to make that project a reality. And lastly is Fabric, or as you may know it, the BH3 project or the Publix project. This is a 3-story block development on West Atlantic Avenue that will not only add a grocer to the set, but will also add 68 affordable homes, including several for-sale townhomes, an important and missing element from our housing strategy. The CRA subsidized this project and hope to break ground this time next year. So where are the opportunities? 1, we need more land. With this boom in affordable housing construction, we have exhausted a lot of our resources. I worked tirelessly for over a year to negotiate the sale of the old Plymouth Elementary site on Seacrest, to see my board vote against exploring purchasing the 10-acre site. This would have been an incredible partnership that would have seen over 50 single-family homes built with a percentage restricted for teachers. I hope to bring it up again next budget cycle, this time successfully. Secondly, we're not building enough for sale units. I've continued to advocate for affordable housing that can help build wealth in our communities. These are not homes that can be flipped, but are packaged in a way that home ownership can eventually be obtained. Miss Yvonne Odom continues to remind us every meeting of the importance of this sector of affordable housing. And Miss Odom, if you're watching, you know I won't stop pushing. Thank you for joining me for this discussion on affordable housing. I welcome any additional questions via email or phone. And remember, on March 9th, to vote for stability, civility, and professionalism.